GIS stands for Geographic Information System. And so what that means, it is a system in which I can represent the physical world digitally. Okay, so for spans and widths and whatnot, all of that information that's important in the real world is important in your computer.
While modern technology is very impressive, the idea behind GIS, essentially man's desire to see the big picture, is certainly nothing new.
One of the earliest maps that I found is from 1832. And what it was a doctor in London, okay, that had a map made. And because it's more than maps, people think that GIS, oh, mapping, no, it's different. This guy he's a doctor, he took the streets of London because he had a cholera outbreak. And so what he did, yes, he mapped out the streets of London, but what he also represented on this map was, with a point, he represented where each person or house that was affected on that map. So from a 30,000 foot view, he looked down and said, okay, all of the outbreaks are in this general area. There must be something wrong where our water's coming in from this area because it's a waterborne disease. And so he eventually figured out, based on where all the people that were sick were, where it was coming from, and stopped it.
Though not as dramatic as a cholera outbreak, the city also has issues it must address, even those that may impact public health and safety. GIS integrates hardware, software, and data for capturing, managing, analyzing, and displaying all forms of geographically referenced information. GIS helps the city answer questions and solve problems quickly. It eliminates trial and error as well as guesswork.
Say we have a huge water leak in the middle of the night. It's dark, right? You have lights, but it's still dark. And what we're looking for is a valve to cut off that line. That valve can be about that big. Okay, that's what you're looking for, a cap. It's about that big. You got water leaking, it's a huge leak, we're draining the water towers, you're looking for that one cap. Now let's say that cap was underneath the ground. Let's say that it was either covered over with dirt or it was asphalted over. Whatever reason, what I have is the ability to collect that point, make it a digital representation, and now I give our line maintenance guys an iPad that has the point, and it shows, the iPad has a GPS function, it shows where they are. They walk directly to that point, cut in the ground, turn it off.
Mark and other city employees use a GPS device to pinpoint exact physical locations. That data is then entered into a computer where it is integrated with a map. The map is made up of many layers of information, from streets and county roads to structures to the city's entire water distribution infrastructure. This creates a bird's eye view for the city.
You need an overall approach. When you can step back from a 30,000 foot view and look down, which we do with our aerials and our tracking our sanitary sewer bypasses, okay, and tracking issues with water, issues with sewer, issues with streets. There's things that you can see from up top and trend, basically, where you have problem areas that you can fix that you wouldn't be able to do walking around the streets every day, filling out a sheet of paper saying, okay, I've got 5 years worth of information, right? So I'm gonna go through 5 years worth of information and see where the problems are. Well, okay, I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna start writing these places down. I'm gonna eliminate that list. Whereas seeing from a map view, 30,000 foot, you can see, man, there's a lot of sewer bypasses right there. What's the problem? What's the deal? Let's investigate, okay? And that's what GIS allows you to do.
Sometimes citizens may lose sight of the fact that Ada is well over a century old. As forgotten or overlooked infrastructure is rediscovered by city crews, that vital information is added into a current, evolving database for future reference.
I'm working with it every day to improve and to better specify down on what each particular, like for water meters, we're adjusting information every day on water meters. Location, MXU number, all these different things that we track water meters with. Sewers, we actually just completed mapping out our entire sewer system. And so, say the City of Ada is a part of a program through the line maintenance that we do pipe bursting to improve inflow and infiltration because we don't want a lot of extra water coming in our sewer system. So the pipe bursting crew goes out, say they go out today. When they do that, they log it, and I get that information and I update our system. So if they did 3 lines today, those 3 lines will be updated tomorrow.
The city utilizes the information to improve every aspect of public service. In addition to public works, it is used for police and fire work, planning and engineering, lowering insurance costs for citizens, and, perhaps most importantly, emergency response.
Pontotoc, the actual county, doesn't have a GIS person, and so we're actually contracted out to give addresses in the county, maintain a digital representation of roads in the county, and that's actually done through Gene Linton, our emergency manager. And so, but we keep that stuff because it all goes through our dispatch system, which is vitally important because we have a good representation of all the houses in Pontotoc County, and so that's how we route to people's houses when there's emergency. The emergency response portion for 911 is we keep the information and we update to our CAD system, which is actually separate. It's not an Esri product, which is what we use. With the structure points and the streets, they're able to route to a person's house. And so we keep that fresh because Gene will tell you he'll have 20 new addresses in a month. So they need to be on our 911 system. So we do that.
GIS allows the city to view, understand, question, interpret, and visualize data in many ways that reveal relationships, patterns, and trends. The flip side to that is the information can be easily shared with the city workers in the field. That translates into quicker improvements. Exciting new uses for technology are being developed right now.
What we can end up doing is allowing the city of Ada to speak to us through maps. And so, say a person has a pothole that's the worst thing in the world, okay, and it messes them up every morning. They go to work and they have hot coffee and they hit that pothole, it spills all over them, right? So they want to complain. They want to talk to the city, say, listen, I want this fixed. This is a big deal. So we're going to provide some applications where a person could go on, find the location of the pothole, click it on our map, all right, and then that generates a work order and a information sent to the city personnel saying, hey, this is a deal, we need to deal with this. Okay, and so as well as water leaks, sewer issues, any type of information. So we want the citizens to speak to us through GIS.
The city's geographical information system is much more than numbers, points, or coordinates on a digital map. It's a system that also engages ethics with the sole aim of improving the quality of life for all Ada residents.
GIS is important because it saves taxpayers time and money. It makes us more efficient. It helps us to make better decisions up front instead of having to fix decisions after.